everybody, it's been a while. I've been busy, and of course I don't usually just do YouTube all the time. Quite a few updates on the 328. Again, I've got the N26, so any of the parts on this are going to be for the N20, N26. Only difference really is as far as the intakes go. The intake I currently have is for the electronic wastegate instead of the one for the pneumatics. This will be anything for 2014 and up F30 chassis. So go ahead and start with the new intake swap over. I've had the engine intake and also the Turner Motorsports N20 intake that I made work with the N26 vacuum line. This one is the MST updated version 2. So it's that intake that's like the B48, B58 intake from MST. For those looking for the clear cover, the actual cover for the B48, B58 chassis or engine code with the F30 will actually work on the N20, N26. So we've got the actual intake with the clear cover. I did go through and actually cut it partially. I had an issue when running this intake because it is shorter with a blow-off valve adapter. So the actual blow-off valve adapter has been deleted. So I'm back to just a standard diverter valve, which is probably way too far down there to see. Yeah, way too far down there. So it does come with a full heat shield. It comes with an actual inlet pipe that's shorter and actually moves it over towards the left side of the engine bay. Ended up swapping that over. The vehicle now has the Rev9 exhaust, which I'll go ahead and show you now. So now has the Rev9 335i muffler set on it with the two tips, with a little carbon fiber kind of covers on them. To get that to work, you have to either cut your factory standard bumper or run an M Sport rear bumper and then run the 335i 340 rear diffuser, and then you'll probably have to have an exhaust shop do the muffler for you. It was really close to fitting with the connector that they supply as far as Rev9, but it wasn't quite right, so had an exhaust shop go ahead and weld it up for me. Didn't take them very long. It does sound quite a bit better. I'll try and get a sound clip here in a minute. Moving up next, we have suspension. I was running on H&R Sport Blue springs with the factory struts and shocks. I've now changed over to the Megan Racing Euro Spec 2s. And then I've got it all adjusted up right now. So this is where the car currently sits. Alignment is pretty well in spec. Spring rates, I think were 6 in the front, 6 or 8 in the front, and then I think it was 12K in the rear, which is what was kind of recommended for more sporty autocross setup with some of the other guys running F30 chassis. These are also 32-way adjustable. I was able to still keep the factory covered top hats up here. And nice audible, easy usable clicks. And those went in pretty easily. Pretty much as everything else is done on this car. Fairly simple installs on most everything. So besides with that, we move on to interior. I was able to find somebody online that sold custom interior out of Georgia, the country, like way out in the middle of nowhere, to me anyway, because I live in the US. It all looks pretty good. It's not perfect, but might cost like $300 instead of the typical like $800 to $1,200 for the sport interior, and then went with a couple actual carbon fiber accents. So along with the MN laser button swap over that I think like Thick Whips has done, along with a couple of the guys. So I'll show that as well. So we've got the M buttons for function for changing from eco mode to sport, and then we've got the Alcantara with the P3 gauge, and some more of the actual Alcantara interior pieces. And the door pulls, and the iDrive connector or controller, along with a couple of carbon fiber accent pieces as well. And then the Redline phone holder kind of finishes out the interior on that. So it's kind of a basic update on there. I'm trying to do an actual sound clip for the exhaust and the intake. Intake isn't too extremely loud like the engine was, but I have noticed increased SAR response, and the exhaust has kind of got a pretty good tone for it, especially for this being an actual 4-cylinder car. So try to get that video updated as well and get a couple of these uploaded pretty quick. Thanks.